Welcome back to Vital Skin Essentials. I'm Lorena,
And I'm Emma.
and today we are going to be talking about the 2026 skincare trend predictions. So we've I'd say, a lot of little tools here and there.
Mm-hmm.
The gadgets. I'd say
Yes.
the 2025 I feel were more gadget based trends, not
Yes.
necessarily
Lots of
like a product.
at-home
Yeah.
gadgets.
Right. I think that maybe was from, COVID or something, and people were finally like trying to catch up on
Yeah.
the trend of skincare
Mm-hmm.
versus only going to see your esthetician
Mm-hmm.
once a year or make it
Yes.
like an annual thing. Where I think self care was slowly introduced during the pandemic, and then
Mm-hmm.
people were like coming back into reality, and they're like, okay, I need to do what I was doing then because now I messed up my own skin. Then I have to really see an esthetician, right?
Yes.
It's like when you cut your own bangs and then you're like, okay, now I have to go see a professional. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
interesting how things kind of, so I feel like after COVID, or maybe even kind of during COVID, there's this like uptick in the amount of products people are using.
Yeah.
Like these long skincare routines. And then that kind of took a dip, and it was like, get rid of all this products. I'm gonna use like three things.
Hmm.
And now I feel like it's going to kind of come back around again and be a little bit longer routine, a little bit more ritualistic.
Hmm.
And yeah, and we were talking about how everything is so, maybe, with AI, I think it kind of magnifies it, but everything is, you can't really believe anything you see. Everything is so commercialized,
Sponsored.
sponsored. You can't believe what you see, you can't believe what you hear. And I think people are getting really tired of that. And like, even, pictures, I see so many before and after pictures, but I know the capabilities of photo editing now
Hmm.
have become so advanced. So I'm like, well, is that truly
Yeah.
a before and after? And so I think more, um, yeah, like more nostalgia, more like longer routines, in-person facials, like having someone actually like look at you, talk to you, touch you. Um, Maybe like a little bit more scent in products, like sensory experience, more, uh, I don't know, just like, yeah,
Maybe it
just
could,
in person.
because maybe you were talking about how you don't like fragrance,
Hmm.
but it could be that it's a hypoallergenic fragrance or a
Yeah.
lab created fragrance where it doesn't cause skin irritations or it doesn't,
Yeah.
cause it doesn't mess with your hormones, right? Things like
Hmm.
that. That could be the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, I mean, scent causes irritation for a small group of
Hmm.
people, really. So a lot of people do like scent.
Right.
And I've been surprised, actually. This past year, I've worked with some lines that have scent and actually didn't irritate the
Yeah.
people that I thought it would.
Hmm.
I like did little patch tests,
Yeah.
and no problem. So I guess it is just kind of about how
Hmm.
it's done.
Yeah. Well, I know that for example, the brand that we're working with, Valmont,
Mhm.
they are known for their scented product.
Mhm.
And this is for more targeted towards like mature skin, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like the rosy, petally scent, the fresh rose scent, or it's almost like it's like a cotton rose scent,
Uh-huh.
It reminds me of like my grandmother's creams and things like that when I was younger. Like you said, it's very nostalgic.
Yes,
Yeah.
nostalgic, like smell it, like
Hmm.
looks
But
pretty
but
packaging.
from what I understand is that they're kind of slowly moving away from fragrance, not completely,
Okay.
because that's their signature, right? That's their
Mhm.
scent. So what they're doing is I think they reduced it by maybe 30% or so, especially like in the male targeted line.
Okay.
So it has some of that fragrance, but not overly powerful like
I
it
like
was
that.
before. So
Yeah.
they're understanding that people are, associate no fragrance with clean skincare.
Mhm.
And so I think that's the direction that everybody will be going into 2026 is that, you know, I don't think that commercial grade skincare is going to be popular as much
Mhm.
because I think that people are understanding the difference between commercial grade and like medical grade and things like that. So
Mhm.
I can kind of see maybe no more Ulta Sephora trends
Mhm.
because everybody know, like you said, everybody is being sponsored by something or
Yeah.
it's just too commercialized.
Yeah, and there's some, those places have some good products,
Yeah.
but I think you're right. It's going to be less of people just kind of figuring it out on their own and actually talking to a real person
Mm-hmm.
in person
Right.
and getting a skin analysis, getting a skincare routine, and kind of blocking out all the noise and just finding one person that they trust and listening to their advice and following their
Right.
instructions.
Which leads me to my next prediction.
Mhm.
So this one is, I won't say super complex, but this one is wellness overall.
Mhm.
Overall wellness is going to change. It may not be this year. It may take a few more years, honestly, but the people that are actually getting into wellness, it's not just about the
Mhm.
foods that they're eating, it's or the coffee creamers that they're switching to, things like that.
Yes.
It's about total body wellness because
Mhm.
if you, let's say you start off, you cut off the fast food, right?
Mhm.
Okay, but you're still drinking alcohol, right?
Mhm.
Or you cut that off but you're still smoking, or you cut that off and now like you're not smoking, you're not drinking, you're not eating fast food. Okay, well, what are like household ingredients, like it all starts to slow, like, oh my gosh, like I'm cleaning with Clorox still, or I'm cleaning with toxic chemicals and things like that.
Yeah.
And then that slowly switches to, what am I putting on my face, like what am I putting in my body, what am I putting on my skin, things like that. So I think that it'll start one thing, but it'll change to everything else. So I know, or I predict, not that I know, I predict that um, people will start to get the correct blood work done that's
Okay.
needed, right? This is genetic testing, this is blood work testing, this is even whatever test. I don't know what test, but I'm sure there are tests that you're supposed to be
Mhm.
testing for, like things that affect your hormones, things like that.
Yes.
And then I would, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I should invent the app. Wait a minute. All right, hold on. But I think people will start to get that blood work done, and then go to their dermatologist, go to their doctor, things like that,
Yeah.
or their medical professional, or an actual company that creates the formulas specifically for their blood type,
Mhm.
genetic, traits, things like that, their skin concerns, and then they create this specific regimen for them. I think.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
customization was one of yours.
Yeah. I see a trend more like when I talk to people, I hear more, like concierge doctor or what's the type of doctor that's they normally don't take insurance, but they're more of a like all encompassing, like they're trying to get to the root of the problem.
Right.
And I can't think of the word right now.
I mean, like a holistic doctor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Natural.
it's not a naturopath, is it?
No.
Is it or but y'all
Along
know
those
what I
lines.
mean.
Along those lines, I think.
Yes, along those lines of like a naturopath, or like
Hmm.
they're taking your whole body into consideration, and they're not just putting a band-aid on it. They're not just prescribing you a drug that's going to mask the issues. They're really trying to figure out the root of the problem, and they tend to run way more lab tests than traditional
Right.
doctors and see things that don't show up in normal tests. And I think, well, that's kind of scary to a lot of people because you might find out something that you don't want to find out. I think there is going to be more of a shift. I think you're right. Like knowledge is power, and that will, especially like the hormone panels, that will help us a lot as estheticians if people just fill that out on their form, their intake form. Like I've had so many people with like untreatable acne that it turns out it's like PCOS, which I could probably tell them they had PCOS, but that's not my place.
Hmm.
All I could do is kind of guide them to maybe get some blood work done, but I could kind of see the signs. And when you have that, it's like, there's not really much you can do. You can kind of help it a little bit. It's going to come back, and just it's a lot of things. It affects the hormones, it affects the blood sugar levels. So those people a lot of times are really sensitive to chocolate or candy, anything that's going to like all of a sudden they're going to have a breakout because their body is not metabolizing it. It's like causing almost like a toxic reaction in their body.
Hmm.
So I think that would be wonderful. That would
Yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah.
And then it would be less frustrating for people because people wouldn't keep trying to, like, spending their money and not getting the results they want. They would actually be able to feel better, look
Hmm.
better. Like they would have,
Internally and externally.
yes, there would
Hmm.
be like the initial cost of the blood work, but overall they would probably spend less money.
Hmm. And then spend less money
Hmm.
because they're not just trying random products that they see online and they're like, oh, it
Yes.
worked for me. I mean, for them, let me,
Hmm.
try it and see. And then it makes it worse, right?
Yes.
So now they're trying to spend the money trying to correct everything else. So, I mean, I think, and that just stems from the idea that there's now like body scans that you can do. I
Hmm.
personally have done them, which is why I got the idea, because I'm starting my wellness journey. I want to make
Hmm.
sure that I'm doing what I can. And what are, I'll say like, oh, like my arms are my biggest thing, but it's actually not where I hold my most weight. But then it's like, oh, well, it could be that you're holding most of your fat here or more fat here because of
Hmm.
something else. And it's like, well, what is that
Yeah.
something else? And now I have to figure out what that is. And
Yeah.
and so it just like trickles from one thing to another, and now I'm overwhelmed with information. But when
Yeah.
I have my acne clients, they it's so, oh, I want to say not heartbreaking, but it's a struggle.
It can be really,
It's a
yeah.
struggle for them, it's a struggle
Hmm.
for you, because now you want them to trust you, and it's so
Hmm.
hard because it's like you tried everything, or and I love my cases where I'm like, you can see the progression, and maybe they can't see it just yet, but until I show them
Yeah.
that side by side picture from 3-4 months ago,
Hmm.
and they're like, oh wow, yeah. I'm like, well, you see your skin every day. I can see it instantly because I haven't seen you in such like 3-4 weeks or whatever, or a month.
Yes.
And so it's not just topically. Like, I still recommend things like they can do, like that they can take
Hmm.
things like that. Not that I recommend medication, but it's like lemon balm or
Hmm.
ashwagandha, things that'll calm their cortisol levels, and if it's stress related, if it's this,
Yeah.
you know, drink more water, things like that. A detox, instead of coffee, try green tea.
Yeah, just like suggestions, little nudges.
Yeah, exactly. Not that they should take medication, but um, because I know it's internally too, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so I wish it was just like blood work that they can do. Okay, figure out that issue, and then formulate and create a specific like regimen for them.
Yeah.
Although I do have the opposite prediction where skincare will be
Hmm.
more minimal. Still, like you said,
Hmm.
you mentioned it was more like
I think it'll be more of like a ritual, like it'll be about like the experience. So like with that
yeah.
comes like more of like the scent and the packaging and the
Hmm.
maybe a bit longer routine, I think.
Yeah. So for me, what I've noticed is people don't want to do 13 steps.
Hmm.
They have their red light therapy, they have their roller, they have their microcurrent device, but they're not using it. Like, they'll use it for a week, and it's like in the drawer somewhere, out of sight, out of
Hmm.
mind. And it's the same thing that I hear all the time. Like, I have 3 kids. I have da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't have any kids, but my routine is a minute and 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if you can just give yourself a minute and 30
Hmm.
seconds, like, you will have, like, your skin will just change completely,
Yes.
you
And I
know?
don't think this is not my prediction for
Oh,
moms. But I just think like maybe younger, like maybe even like late teens. I feel like it's gonna their routines are
yeah.
gonna get a bit
I think that
longer. But I mean, yeah, like
I'm coming into my
30s,
30s
40s, yeah.
this year, and I'm gonna get myself like a LED mat, like a full body mat. And I'm getting myself one of those like little shakers, the lymph- the lymphatic
I thought about
shakers.
getting one of those like
Mhm.
little
And
vibrating
creating
mats.
my ritual in the mornings.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I decided 5 a.m.
Hmm.
workouts. 5 a.m. workouts. I'll have time to do everything. So let's see how that goes. But
Okay.
it's going to be, stimulate the lymphatic system, do somatic exercises, stretches, things like that. And um, just be more in tune with grounding myself versus
Hmm.
just constantly being indoors. I work in a cave.
Yes.
There's no windows, there's no sunlight, and there's no wonder why my vitamin D levels are so low. And then now that, causes mood swings or like irritability, and that
Mm-hmm.
causes more gain weight because of depression. And, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
We don't think a lot of times at first that it could be vitamins or like some type of a deficiency.
Right.
And a lot of times, even if we're taking that supplement needs another supplement to actually absorb.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a whole, you really need to work with someone who knows what they're talking about, because it can get very complicated.
Yeah.
And if you're on medications, it's even more complicated, because then certain supplements can make your medication absorb too quickly or not quickly enough,
Mm-hmm.
or like stay in your system too long and cause serious problems sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So I think that's where AI will be super helpful. Like
Helpful.
you're saying.
Although it's a little annoying. Like, I've had a couple people who come in, they're like, well, ChatGPT said I need this cleanser. And I'm like, I can look at your skin and tell you it's not the cleanser you need.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of hard to
Tell them or try to discredit ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's like, do I want to argue with them? I mean,
good luck.
because it's, if they don't have any like rapport with me, like they're just off the street,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna trust ChatGPT. And if for some reason they had like, some bad reaction, a fluke thing, they'd be like, oh, I should have just gone with ChatGPT. So a lot of times they're just like, okay, just, if this cleanser doesn't work for you, the one that, chat recommended, come back.
Come back and see me. No. I mean, I've had people more recently where it's like, I'm just ready to try something new. Like, I've tried everything else. Like, I just need something that's going to work. And, start simple. So I always, especially if they have acne, I always treat it like sensitive skin. So, like, we're going to stay short. And plus, they, if you give them 13 things to do, they're not going to do them. It's going to be so overwhelming.
Not going to do them, yeah.
So overwhelming. So it's just like, try these 3 things, cleanse, and that's it. Try that. So that's my prediction. Overall wellness will be more on a high rise, and changing to or leading towards like clean skin brands, more glass.
Yeah,
I think is 2026.
Yeah, that would be nice. I kind of disagree a little bit on the clean. I don't know if things are going to go, because I feel like there was that trend, and then now I feel like it might go a little bit more into like products that work. Not that clean products don't work, but like if they're really clean, it's going to be hard for them to work well, because they're not going to have the things they need to remain stable. But yeah, like eco-friendly, I guess. Yeah, like more like eco-friendly packaging. Maybe not so much clean, like inside the bottle, but the outside packaging, like, yeah, like a little bit more conscious about. Like, that's one of my goals for this year. I've gotten really bad about recycling, and I want to get back into it. I got kind of discouraged because I was told like it didn't really they don't always get recycled, which I think is probably true, but some of it might.
Yeah.
And at least it's
it's
a step to kind of try to make a difference. Oh, I guess when you were talking about supplements, I was thinking like lyma laser, that like at home laser, they have a supplement that seems pretty good. And then Skin Better Science has a supplement too. I think that's mostly for pigmentation, I believe.
Well, because remember, if you remember, Biologique had the probiotic.
Yes, I think they still have it, don't they? Yeah.
And then they have the prepare your skin for, I forget
for the sun. Yes.
And do you remember that brand? It was Sun Powder.
I don't remember.
It was that podcast that you sent me with that doctor, and he was I won't say he was sponsoring it, but he mentioned it. I forget the name of the podcast, but if I remember.
Oh, is it the African fern? No. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to look back at.
It was like sun powder or something. But basically you take it. I forget the main ingredient, but it's inhibits melanin production.
Okay.
So you'll take it like 30 days before summertime.
Okay.
And then you like prep your skin internally to prevent the excess melanin production, but also
Mm-hmm.
help prevent like inflammation that
Oh, that like
that
cascading effect of
right.
sugars.
I think it may be sun powder, but
Okay.
that's the same effect that the biologique Healy something maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they had, and so it was like a skin prep type of thing.
Okay. I wonder if it has that African fern because that's like a very common, like kind of like internal
Mm-hmm.
sunscreen. But yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because before like lines would come up with these supplements, they would just kind of sit on the shelves. I remember in the past working with some other lines that had supplements too, and it's just like it was never. I don't know. I feel like the education wasn't as good around it for the providers, and it was just if you ever like recommend it to someone, they're just like, just give me the topical stuff. But I think that it is going to change because
Like paired with like
you really have
supplements
to
and
pair
topical.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think it can be scary for people too because you don't know necessarily what they're already taking, but you can recommend it and you can tell them just to like as a disclaimer, like speak to your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like so many people I'm sure have all these different deficiencies that have to like they have to affect the skin. Like if you're putting vitamin A and vitamin C on your skin, but your actual internal vitamin A and vitamin C levels are really low,
Mm-hmm.
for one thing, it can cause like vitamin A, like people that are like, I can't tolerate vitamin A. It might just be that they're deficient in it and it's causing all this like kind of irritation because their body doesn't really know
How to process
how to
it.
process it. I mean, that's like not always the case, but
Mm-hmm. You were saying how it could affect, like, for example, their diabetes medication or whatever the case is,
mm-hmm.
right? But people don't realize or don't know that you can reverse most of these things by just diet and nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when I tell a diabetic that, not that I'm a doctor or anything, but I have done my research too. But there are certain things that you can take and change your diet and lifestyle, especially if you have type 2 diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's always a
Yeah, type 1 I wouldn't mess with,
yeah,
but type
type 2.
2, yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, I have medication that I take for. I'm like, yeah, but you don't need the medication if you do make a huge life change. But
Yeah, if you lose weight, yeah. I mean,
nobody wants to make that life change, is what it is.
yeah.
Have you ever seen that photo where there's two lines and it's like medication or lifestyle change?
I haven't, but I mean, I know, like, and I think that's why, like, Ozempic, I was like kind of at first, but now I'm like, I think it's actually a good thing because, I mean, like it or not, that's the way people are. If it's a choice between a medication or not, that they're
Yeah,
going to choose the medication route, and if it gets them to where they don't have to take all these other
yeah.
like diabetes,
Hmm.
cholesterol, statins,
Or it can
everything
be
else,
the jump start that they need, right,
yeah,
to a healthier
yeah.
lifestyle.
And I don't know how the drug works. I don't know if you get off of it, if it just
Goes back to normal.
goes back to normal. I don't know, but
I mean, I'm not sure either, but I, I know that didn't it cause like lots of liver issues?
I've heard that it can cause like there's a slight increased risk of I think pancreatic cancer.
Hmm. I will work out. I think.
But if you look at like the health risk of someone morbidly obese,
Oh,
an elevated risk of pancreatic cancer is worth it.
yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. And like I said, it's all tied together.
Yeah, that's why I
It's
think like people morbidly obese, it's great for people like that just like I want to lose 20 pounds, 5 pounds. Like no, just
you
like
just do the easy route. But again, that people don't realize that when you lose weight that rapidly, it
mm-hmm.
comes with loose skin.
Oh yes.
And there's a wellness program that I'm wanting to get on, and so basically they show you
Mm-hmm.
what you eat, how much to work out, things like that, or what workouts to do, so that when you're losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
but not too rapidly where your skin can't catch up
Yeah,
and be flabby, because that's a problem.
it is. Yeah. And then like people think they're gonna feel so confident and great, but they don't always because then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, I look old and like I feel like I can't wear,
Hmm.
tank tops or shorts
Hmm.
or
That's what they were calling people like with Ozempic head. Remember? Like
oh
their body
yeah.
was litter, but But because the face was like too loose and saggy, it made him look longer and just
Yeah.
yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
But I those are my 2026 skin predictions.
And I have a couple of these aren't like I guess predictions. These are things I think might fall off a little bit.
Okay.
And I think I might have predicted these last year. But I think Botox isn't going anywhere. Botox is going to be always
Botox.
there.
Mhm.
I think fillers, I think they took a little dip 2025. I think they're going to dip even more 2026. And I think like some lasers too are going to be, I think people are going to be a little bit more like, they're not going to be like, oh, I saw this on TikTok. I'm going to go get it. They're going to be a little bit more aware of like the downsides of things. Like
Mhm.
I think more information is going to come out about like the possible like downsides, whether it's like just a downside across the board or if it's like a downside because of so many people like are just like the operators are not great and like these devices are super operator dependent. It's not just like a start button. It's like very
Mhm.
like I think some of them are like that, but a lot of them are like very the settings you have to really know like the depths of the skin and like when to like go lighter and when to go
Mhm.
deeper and
What's Patrick?
yeah, because I've heard some nightmare stories about just fat being burnt away and people looking gaunt, just muscles drooping because just melting the
Mhm.
face and the tendons and just all the
Mhm.
important things that are like holding the face
Together.
up. Everything is connected, and I think a lot of people are just doing like little fixes, like, oh, I just want like this here fixed. Well, like, yes, this affects this and this affects that, and um, yeah, so like soft wave things like that are becoming more popular as opposed to like the really heat inducing
Mhm.
devices that were causing the fat. I think one of them was taken off the market actually because it was melting fat, like too much fat. Like we think when you're younger, you think like, oh, I want to get rid of the fat in my face, but you really don't. Like it's
Mhm.
like so precious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I did a facial on a girl who is 13 years old and she had the best collagen ever on her. I was
Oh.
like look at that bounce.
I worked on a girl the other day too. She was 19. I was just like looking in the mag light. I was like, well, I mean, I don't have anything to say
Yeah.
because most of the people I work on are like 40s to 60s. Like
Mhm.
it's like this is amazing. Your skin looks so good.
What do you use?
Yeah, youth.
Yeah. Youth. Oh man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it was nice. I was like,
you still have youthful
I know
skin.
I still do, but I won't for long. No, but
Um,
I agree about filler. I think people are starting to realize they're overdoing it. They
yes.
don't look that great. Not all, but some. Some you can't tell that they have it. So
Yeah, sometimes it's done really well. And if you go someplace like California, actually they do a pretty good job because the ladies over there don't want to look done. So usually they're a
hmm
little bit better at it. So like Dallas is and this is something else I think is going to change. So right now I feel like certain places, popular places in Dallas I walk in. I even had people from out of town comment on this cuz it's not everywhere. But the girls are starting to all look the same
they are.
because they're getting the same nose jobs, they're getting
hmm
the same injectables,
hmm
they're going to the same providers, and they're all kind of morphing into the same thing.
hmm
And I think that's something that's going to change because that's kind of part of this like authenticity. Like I think kind of dissolving some of the fillers, embracing like a healthy lifestyle, good skincare, like looking unique is going to be more valued than just looking
hmm
kind of like a perfect Barbie doll.
Right, I agree. I don't know if BBLs are reversible, but
I,
they gotta go. They gotta go.
uh,
No, but I agree with you about fillers. A trend, it's not a skincare trend, but a trend that I wish would disappear is overlining the lip area here.
oh yeah,
I I can see that
that's not your
that's
lip.
not your lip. Like you literally just painted.
Because like in videos, sometimes like the way the lighting, like it does look,
hmm
you like watch the video and you're like, I'm gonna do that. That looks so good. But
hmm
in real life, it does not look the
Yeah,
same.
it doesn't. And there was a video that I watched online where I can tell, like, I can see what is it, the Cupid's bow?
Yeah.
I'm like, you look weird. I wish that trend goes away. Don't know what that's about. I mean, I'm sure it's the effect of fuller lip. I get it, but I'm like, it
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's the I can't afford lip filler look.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So there's I don't know if it was I think it came to the market last year, but there's the product I was telling you about called Angel Lift that I'm gonna try,
Mm.
and I'll do it before and after. But it's an interesting concept because it it's supposed to kind of help with it can help with nasolabial folds, like frown lines, supposedly, and like more probably kind of the same thing as like a lip flip would give you, like a more especially when people age, the lips kind of curl under, and so like a little bit more of a full looking lip, and it's something that you wear like 30 minutes a day, so it's just kind of retraining your I guess your body to like allow room for the strips.
Mm.
So we'll see.
Yes, we'll try them for you all.
Yes.
We'll take we'll take them for the team. Yeah, we should go back and see our 2025 predictions.
I know. I think I had the same one with the fillers. I think it was the same. But I think that came true.
So those were our 2026 skin predictions.
Let us know what your predictions are. Leave it in the comments if you agree, disagree, have any like new predictions that we didn't list or didn't talk about.
We missed.
We'd love to hear them that we missed. Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.